Have a good show.
Are you ready for the golden age? The Quantum Galaxy Network presents Making Life Brighter on the Voice America Variety Channel, where we prepare you and the planet for the golden age. Making Life Brighter features experts in their field and visionaries sharing their unique keys for sustainability on Earth, including all cutting-edge healing modalities, consciousness training, and natural healing. Tune in every Thursday for valuable golden nuggets of universal harmony and coherency with body, mind, and spirit. Each week, Winifred introduces you to thought leaders, best-selling authors, influencers, and Grammy Award-winning musicians. Making Life Brighter is your source for inspiring us to live in cooperation and purpose as we prepare for the golden age and beyond. The Quantum Galaxy Network invites you to join Making Life Brighter as we prepare for the golden age. Making Life Brighter is your forum for healing, inspiring, and uplifting entertainment. Here is your host, Winifred Adams.
Hey, everybody. Hope you're going jolly today. Great to be back with you. Hope you're sustaining through this fire season. What the heck is going on in our world? Wow. That was spontaneous. So if those of you that listen in, follow along on YouTube, you'll have heard me talk about all the stuff that's going on with Dutch Sense. And Dutch Sense is someone that you can follow on YouTube. I've been following along in part of the narrative, the discovery really of the things that are really going on with earthquakes and volcanoes and all of that information for many, many years, since like back in 1999, I've been following this. Well, Dutch Sense, Dutch is amazing. Actually, I really love him. He is spelling out for you what may be the reason behind these and why that's happening the way it's happening. So I pointed it out on my YouTube shows. And I want you to take a minute maybe to go and check out his channel on YouTube. And it's literally Dutch Sense. So just look up Dutch and you'll find it. It's all about earthquakes and it's about volcanoes and now it's about fires. So I'm so sorry that those people are suffering so badly down in New York City, and it's a real tragedy. It looks like Armageddon for real. It's not a joke and people need to take it seriously. So today I've decided to dedicate the entire show to all the things that I've used over the years for helping your body systems heal through smoke inhalation or toxins that are in the system. Having lived through the Woolsey fire myself, that's a very serious thing. And after the Woolsey fire, when I went home and really essentially the town was burned down, there was nothing. Everything was scorched, it was blackened, it was burned, it was 890 homes burned down or something like that. That's insane. Even the grocery store wasn't open anymore. And people were in so much shock by what happened. But eventually what really happened is those that lived through it and those that were going back to the scene of their home or sifting through ashes at that point were exposed to very toxic chemicals. And I had that experience myself. And it literally felt like one half of my throat was being kind of eaten up. And so if I didn't apply the things that I knew, I probably would have had throat cancer at the time. However, I did apply what I know, and I continue to apply that today. So I wanted to go through some body healing tenets that would be helpful to everybody, because so many people across the United States are affected by this or will be affected by it at some point in time. So what we take for granted is, oh, there's another fire, becomes a real problem because you're inhaling things and those things get stored in the tissue. If they don't get out of the tissue, then it's just buried in the layers of tissue. So for example, when I was in the fire, I ended up inhaling daily all the ash that was deep inside my home, deep. And that is something that's mind-blowing. So the smoke cloud had come over. It the fire came right up to the back fence. And thankfully it didn't burn the home. But deep down in the basement, deep in under the house, behind a closed series of doors, was like a cement foundational room that was just a storage space. And back of that room was one of my tables that I use for healing, and it was all zipped up in a bag and all that. When I pulled it out, and mind you, it was in the very, very back of this closet. When I pulled it out and brought it upstairs, I couldn't believe it, but literally a pile of dark ash fell out from it. So how that gets into spaces like that and gets deep inside zippered bags, I don't know, but just imagine that goes into your lungs. I know people today that have had cancer since that fire, that have had all kinds of problems in their health that you can't necessarily pinpoint and say that's exactly why this person had this happen, but let's just say it's more likely that the body, if it's filled with toxins, even subtle toxins like smoke, it would eventually express itself or create an environment where it's not as healthy as it should be. So therefore the genes can turn and express themselves. The toxicity lays a foundation for all kinds of things to take place. And those things are very detrimental overall. So for example, when I took that bag out and I saw all the ash, I really couldn't believe that it was that serious and that deep in and through the walls of the house. But they told us, the insurance people and adjusters and everybody said, you know, you have to go through this special wall scrubbing process and everything in the house has to be cleaned. All the furniture, all of everything, just all has to be cleaned. Well, that was another enormous task for people. But really, that's no different for the people now in the New York State corridor, in the Pennsylvania corridor, in New York City. This is a problem that's happening, but it's going to have long-lasting effects. The degree of the actual smoggy smoke is unprecedented. When I got up and looked out the window, I couldn't believe it. It looked like either a green hailstorm was coming, but in fact, it was just that much particulate matter in the air. It was really bad. So people should, even if they're slightly affected by this, immediately get air purifiers and put those air purifiers on 24/7 and let that go, and be sure to change the filters periodically. Another good thing is to steam up the house a bit, so some of those particulates get caught up in the steam and settle, because just blowing around and floating through the air, that keeps it sort of up in the air. But when you put some steam in there, it'll eventually settle. It's kind of like a rainstorm that comes on after this happens. I highly recommend that if you do have plants out there today, if you do have anything like that and the rain is coming, cover them, because this rain is going to be highly toxic. It's going to be like acid rain. It may pull the particles down from the sky so it's not floating around and cleanse the air. But at the same time, it's going to bring with it to the ground and to your plants a ton of acid. So a friend of mine suggested to oversaturate the plants with water right now and water the leaves especially, and keep pouring water over the leaves. Same idea as hydrating the house with steam. You're basically flushing the toxins off of their receptors, and the receptor points are where they take in what they need in order to synthesize their work within whatever plant that is. So you're a synthesizer too. And your skin is so vital to your well-being. And when I walked outside and came back in, my cats came along and smelled me because they could tell something's really wrong. And what's amazing is the day before all this came along, it was a beautiful day. It was something where they would normally be outside and, you know, just in the shade somewhere all day. They wouldn't. They all came back in. they hid in a closet and they hunkered down. So they knew something was coming. And what also caught my attention is the bird feeders were completely empty. They ate the whole bird feeder in 24 hours. So I put the fountains on so the birds would be able to take a bath. But what I'm trying to explain to you is when the animals react like that, and when it becomes this severe, you too need to do something. And it may not just be a, oh, well, you know, it passed by and now it's gone. What you've already inhaled will have an effect in your system. You can hear me kind of nasally, and that's just from the smoke, and I really haven't been outside. So this is kind of a serious call for people to take some proactive measures toward their well-being. And I want to start with some products that can help you. Now, first of all, where can you get these things? Well, on my Facebook page, I have posted a link, a discount link for everyone. So if you go to Making Life Brighter on Facebook, you can get that. I also posted it in the community comments section on YouTube. So it's in the community comments section. And when this show gets up on archive, I will put it in the description box there as well today. And it should be on the website, if not this afternoon, then later today for sure. So you can go to makinglifebrighter.com, Making Life Brighter on YouTube, and Making Life Brighter on Facebook for this link and the listed things that I'm going to talk about today. But I'm going to go in depth as to what they are, why they are, and how they work, because this is really important for people. So now we've established that there's a fairly precarious problem going on. And even though the event might pass by, the event is actually long lasting in your body systems. So imagine you inhale these things, they attach to the mucus lining in your mouth, in your nasal cavity, in your throat, and you swallow that. You inhale it into your lungs and it gets deep in the tissue in your lungs and settles. The only way it can get out of your lungs is if you respirate heavily or you begin to encourage the tissue in your lungs or your bloodstream to go after these toxins or or any kind of pollutants that are not normal to, let's say, optimal biological functioning. The body will identify and sweep those up and take it out. But sometimes the body needs help to do that. And the body needs to grab hold of these things. But in the lungs, it's a difficult position. It's not as easy. However, in Chinese medicine, for example, you never work with, the Chinese doctors always say this, they never treat the direct location of the illness. Instead, they treat the organ system from which the referral stems from. So let's take the lungs. In Chinese medicine, the transverse colon is related to the lungs. In iridology, the Chinese medicine is also related to the lungs. So there's meridians in your body that speak to one another. These meridians have a very strong impact. And as I've said in the courses I've taught and the lectures I've given over time, this is incredibly important in how you go about looking at a system and looking at how to truly effectively get at an issue. In this case, people are inhaling smoke and it's going in two pathways. Either it's through their mouth, it's coming in through their skin, which is the largest organ of the entire body, or they're swallowing it and it's going down through the digestive system. So all of that is happening to these people right now. Anyone affected by this is having this overriding toxicity effect. And the body can react and it can throw the body into kind of an acidosis type condition. So there are some things that I'm going to jump into in the next segment. We're going to take a quick break and then I'm going to dive into my favorite products for this type of situation, because I will tell you how they work, why they work, what they're made of, and what's going on in your body that will help you so that you don't have to keep the toxins stored in your system, whether it's any environmental pollution, but in this case, specifically smoke. So stay tuned. You're listening to Making Life Brighter here on the Variety Channel on Voice America. And we are covering smoke inhalation and toxins and the remedies for those today. So I'm your host, Medical Intuitive Winifred Adams, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Making Life Brighter with host and leading medical intuitive Winifred Adams on the Voice America Variety Channel, your preferred choice for conscious education and entertainment, featuring experts in their field and visionaries preparing the planet for the golden age and beyond. For more information, visit us at makinglifebrighter.com in the media section. Be sure to like us on Facebook at Making Life Brighter. If you have questions or comments, please email us at radio@makinglifebrighter.com. That's radio@makinglifebrighter.com. And now, back to the show with your host, Winifred Adams.
And we're back. Thanks for listening to Making Life Brighter Radio. I'm your host, Winifred Adams, and today we are talking about remedies for smoke inhalation and ENVIRO toxins. So we know we're having this crazy thing over in New York right now and on the eastern seaboard all the way along. Coming down from Canada, the smoke that's coming down into the United States and passing through from these fires is really, it's unknown what's in that besides forest and woods and timber. And that smoke alone is enough to make anybody's system choke. I mean, I really feel bad for all the animals right now, and I've been focusing on them and sending love to them and helping their spirits guide them to water sources where they're safe, because this is a terrible tragedy for all living organisms on the planet. It'll very much carry over into many plants and other things. So remember, if this can make suffocate plants, it can also suffocate your skin, so to speak, and the normal functioning of your skin. So the first thing that you might like to do is get a dry brush. And you can go to your local pharmacy, you can order on Amazon, I'm sure. Just look up any kind of natural health food store will have a dry brush. And you just brush your skin a couple times a day, daily. And this will help turn over the dead skin off the surface, and it will assist with circulation. This is particularly good for people that have circulatory issues, but also feel a little stagnation or have trouble breathing. That's a very simple and effective thing to do. A loofah, anything that will scrub your skin in the shower or the bath, that's going to be additionally helpful for you right now. And don't be afraid to use it often, like morning and night if you need to. It's one of those things where you're trying to get the toxins that have landed on you away from you, similar to washing the plants off with water and giving your skin a chance to breathe. So it's a great idea right now not to use perfumes and chemicals. We love to put on lotions that are scented or have any kind of maybe we take for granted that our skin can handle the toxins in the lotions, but this is a time when maybe no lotion is better and to let your skin breathe. So that's the first thing I would recommend, because scrubbing your skin daily or brushing your skin a couple times a day is really going to be a huge boon to your body and your lymph system and your circulatory, all that will thank you. So the first product that I want to talk about is one of my favorite, and it's been a staple in the company that I use. And the link again is on facebook.com under Making Life Brighter. It's on makinglifebrighter.com on the main page, and it'll also be on the YouTube page for Making Life Brighter. And the first product is going to be Bowel Detox. And Bowel Detox is something, it used to be called Bowel Build, but they changed the name. And frankly, I think Bowel Build is a better description of it, though it has detoxing effect. What I love about this product is it's something that you can use over a long period of time, whereas most colon products you really shouldn't use over a long period of time because you don't want to become addicted to it, and then the body doesn't work as well on its own. But this is not one of those products. This is a product that you can absolutely use over a long period of time. And so it's considered a kind of laxative of sorts, but the truth is it's a blood purifier. And what is so amazing about this is it has great things in the actual baseline of this product. And so it's got substances in it that help absorb the toxins and absorb any kind of irritant. So I use this for people that have IBS or any kind of IBS symptoms. The soothing quality of this, while it pulls toxins and sweeps it up, actually helps to repair and build the digestive system, the intestinal tract, and even the small intestines. So just as a side note, and I'll get into this on another day or in a course that I'm about to offer, is that in fact, I was born with green eyes, and green eyes are a sign of toxicity in the system. And it's true, I had a sensitive digestive system when I was young. But as I came into being the healer and the herbalist that I am today, what happened is I ended up taking this very product. I took three times a day for a whole year, and my eyes turned blue, and they've never ever turned back to green. They are blue, 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 blue. Now, will your eyes turn blue? I can't promise that, but I'll tell you mine did. And why did that happen? Because this product effectively healed my digestion, and it took the toxins out of my colon. And when I was growing up, I had a lot of strep throat. I was probably allergic to milk products, and I drank a lot of milk. So I couldn't digest it. I couldn't deal with that very well. But this is not a lactose intolerant product, but it is a colon cleaning and colon building product. But what's especially important here, and for this issue with smoke and toxins, is it has activated charcoal in it. It also has bentonite clay, and there is psyllium hulls in it. So, you know, this is for absorbing all the toxins in one. It's got chlorophyll in it. It's just amazing. I mean, this product is really an absolute, it's just a real winner for people anywhere. You don't have to have a problem to take this, but if you had a problem, this would be my first thing that I go to, okay? So it's got HCI in it, it's got pepsin, it's got pancreatin, bile salts, vitamin A and C and E, zinc, selenium, psyllium hulls, and that psyllium hulls is a bulk laxative, okay? So it pulls out the irritants, it pulls out the pollutants. It's got bentonite clay, and bentonite clay is used again to pull out any kind of toxin, pollutant, irritants. It astringes the bowel, so it helps with that. It's got algin in it, which absorbs heavy metals. That's kind of cool. Apple, pectin, marshmallow, parthenium herb, charcoal. That's the primary element for the smoke, the activated charcoal. And you could take activated charcoal, which I put on the list on Facebook and YouTube. You can take the activated charcoal just the same, but it won't have all the other properties in it, like this bowel detox. So I highly recommend the bowel detox. You can additionally take activated charcoal extra if you've been in this terrible Armageddon of the smoke that's come through. So you can take both together. It won't harm you. You won't need the activated charcoal forever, but for a good month, it would really help you because it's going to absorb these particulates. It's going to help get these particulates out. So this also has algin in it, and the algin helps absorb the heavy metals. It's got Cascara sagrada, which is sort of what we call in the herbology world a roto-rooter for the colon. So it's getting in there and digging deep and pulling out the toxins. The bentonite clay, of course, and it has ginger, so that helps soothe the digestive tract and heat the digestive tract, because most people have a chronically cold digestive tract and they are not shooting enough hydrochloric acid, or they don't have enough, let's say, juices in the stew to make it stew very well, and they don't break down their food properly. So this will help with that. It's almost like a food enzyme, a colon builder, a colon cleanser, and a bit of a laxative all in one. It's really, really the bomb of a product. If there was one product I had to say that has been the model in my entire career with people, this would, the other one would probably be the X39 patch. So it has sodium, copper, chlorophyll, it has beta carotene, it has kelp, which helps the thyroid, and it's just really for blood purifying, liver detoxing. It's for the stomach, the intestines, the large intestines, the colon. So I really can't tell you enough how wonderful this is. This is my first go-to, and the second to go with that, in this case for smoke and toxins, is charcoal. So activated charcoal. Activated charcoal binds toxins in your digestive tract for removal. It's the way the gut can safely attach to those little particles that you breathed in, and now you have the ability to get them out. So this is a wonderful, wonderful way. So to give you a price point on what these things are, for example, the activated charcoal alone for 120 count is almost $30. But when you use the link I put on Facebook and YouTube, you will bring that down additionally. But when you use that link, you can get it at wholesale cost, and regularly at wholesale it's $22.45. So you're saving almost $8 by doing that. You can do that there. And if I go into the bowel detox, for example, just to give people an indication of what that would be, it is $30.95 at full retail, and I never retail. When people come to me, I always give them the way to get it at wholesale, because that saves them really almost $8 to $10 per product. And if you use that link, you'll get it for less, and you become a member, you'll get it for $23.20. So that's a huge savings for something that is going to be paramount for your health. It's incredible. Let's move on. So we've got bowel detox and activated charcoal being primary components to help absorb the envirotoxins in the smoke. Now, the next one is called just that, ENVIRO detox. And there used to be a product called All Cell Detox, but it kind of turned into ENVIRO detox. And ENVIRO detox is one of those that is used in another formula that's already unfortunately sold out because of this. I would cite that here for you to go get, because it's kind of all in one there, but it's already sold out. It's gone. So the ENVIRO detox is a formula that's also a blood purifier, and that is really important here. So just to give you an idea, I spent a lot of time working with farmers from the Central Valley of California that had serious blood diseases from all the chemical pesticides they sprayed, and very rare diseases that were terribly painful to them. In addition to that, I worked with a lot of painters that also had similar problems. I work with nail techs, women that do your nails, people that do your nails, and they're around all that toxic stuff all day long. If they don't use these types of products on a regular basis, they run the risk of serious disease later on, because those pollutants, the things they inhale, the particulate matter they inhale, also goes into their system. So everything I'm talking about here would apply to them as well. But that's what I saw quite a bit of, and I started working with these things in this combination to help those people. So ENVIRO detox is one that's extremely effective for pulling any kind of envirotoxins out of the bloodstream and safely taking it out of the body. This is part of what they normally carry is Clean Start, and Clean Start is like a packet of psyllium and fiber and different bulk for the colon, and then ENVIRO Detox is a capsule within that formula among some others. But you can take ENVIRO Detox all by itself and it would be wonderful for you. So this is it's a combination of probiotics, digestive enzymes, and it's used for digestive support, but it's got sort of a natural cleansing effect to it, right? So in addition, it's a bit of a, it's a bit of a beautiful blood cleanser all in one. And ENVIRO Detox helps to support the colon and support the colon lining, but it's something that you can use with the activated charcoal or with the bowel detox, and it's very, very effective. Okay, so it's got what we call the friendly flora for the intestinal tract, and it helps with cleansing. It promotes cleansing in the body. It kind of brings along that cleansing, so it's wonderful. This is something that can easily go into any program, and you could do this periodically anyways. So they have a superior strain of the B coagulans, which is it's kind of a favored lactic acid, and it helps to balance the gut biome. And so with this in there, it's a powerful blend, and this keeps sort of it's like a stability of the actual biome function and the temperature in the stomach lining. So it's something that's very, very effective. This is really one of the very best products, and it's something that you can use with the activated charcoal and the bowel detox. The next thing you could do is vitamin C. Now there's lots of vitamin C on the market, and you can use really most effectively, you could use the ester C, you can use time release C. This link also takes you to the company where I pull the C from, because they have 1,000 milligram time released vitamin C. And I find and have found when people have serious pooling of toxins, I have them take about 4 to 6 tablets of this vitamin C at one go. And it's like a giant healing flush where the vitamin C just goes in and just grabs at those toxins and pulls them out. So if you have blood poisoning or toxins in your bloodstream, this is a wonderful way to get rid of that all in one. And you don't want to do a high dose of vitamin C every day, but let's say for a few days you really want to flush the system, you could do 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C or 6,000 milligrams of vitamin C. And if you have kidney issues, you can check with your doctor and see if that's safe for you to do. But that would be something, well, that is something I've used and I did do frequently after I was in the fire. So you don't wait 3 weeks to do it. You do it immediately along with the other things. So anyway, we're going to take another quick break. And when we come back, I'm going to share some more of my secrets with you regarding how to flush the system and flush the body effectively using some of my favorite products and the success stories I've had using these products. So stay tuned. You're listening to Making Life Brighter Radio, and I'm your host, Winifred Adams. You can check out Making Life Brighter on YouTube. You can check out Making Life Brighter on Facebook. Okay, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. We've got more remedies for healing smoke inhalation and toxins and virotoxins right here. Stay tuned.
You You are listening to Making Life Brighter, a presentation by the Quantum Galaxy Network for the Variety Channel on Voice America, featuring visionaries, thought leaders, and consciousness experts leading the way as we prepare the planet for the golden age and beyond. Right here on Making Life Brighter Radio with your host, leading medical intuitive Winifred Adams. Be sure to download the app. For more information, go to makinglifebrighter.com under media. Now, back to the show with your host, Winifred Adams.
Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. Glad we're back and we're rolling. We're here. Hope that you are not in this terrible smoke and that you're somewhere enjoying fresh, clean air. But you know what's interesting is a week or two before all this came down the pike, Spirit moved me to go and get a whole bunch of spider plants. And spider plants in your home are known to be air purifiers. So they naturally absorb toxins and toxic air in your house. Isn't that neat? So when you're attuned and you're listening to the guidance of your spirit, you might do some things you're not sure why you're doing, but in fact, it comes out that you are prepared in advance for whatever it is coming down the pike. So, okay, back to our list, because we're rolling through remedies today that can help you with smoke inhalation or ENVIRO toxins. And whether you are affected by smoke or not, these things can still work for you because everybody has ENVIRO toxins today, and it certainly wouldn't hurt anyone to take what I'm sharing with you. You could do the bowel detox ongoing. That could be almost like a food enzyme. The ENVIRO detox could be for a month or two periodically throughout the year. And of course, vitamin C can be at a normal amount of 1,000 milligrams up to 3,000 milligrams regularly, but higher doses for when you're purging any kind of toxin or pollution from your body. So if you've been exposed to something in particular like this smoke, now you have a means by which to combine these things to invite it to get out. So we talked about skin brushing. We talked about bowel detox, activated charcoal, time-released vitamin C, ENVIRO detox, and now we're on to a favorite of mine from this company called Lymphomax. Now, Lymphomax is an antioxidant. It's an immune stimulant, and it's for the lymph system. It helps with the immune system. It helps with the lymphatics entirely. And it helps even with the appendix, or the liver for that matter. So it's a series of herbs that invites the body to clear the lymph and helps to move the lymph. The lymph system is the only portion of the body that doesn't move on its own. You need to move in order for it to move. Obviously you're moving your lymph when you're walking, you're getting up, you're getting down, you're going from here to there. But to really move your lymph system, this is something where cardiovascular exercise is very helpful. Some of those vibrating machines from the medical therapeutics company, those types of things that force your lymph to move, especially if you're sitting at your desk all day long, that's a big deal because your lymph will pool on you. Or if you don't have a strong cardiovascular system and you tend to fly a lot, again, the pressure on your body as well as the radiation that you're receiving in the air, and then of course your lymph pooling on you. So this is stress on the heart when the lymph doesn't flush regularly. It's stress on the kidneys and the liver because the toxins are building up and they're not able to move out. And then lastly, especially with the lymph system, if your attitude is not one of gratitude, then you will have your lymph system back up on you. So it's really important because our body systems show us the signs of what is happening in the organs. The bodies tell the story of the signs that are happening in the organs. And I've talked about this for years. How I see a body in medical intuition has a lot to do with how the systems that are affected, the organs that go with those systems, and what stage and state they are in, as well as the person's overall demeanor and attitude or way of conduct. So the body itself never lies. It always tells you exactly what is up. And human beings justify and they hide different things, even from themselves. But the body is always telling an accurate story. So in this case, the lymph system is critical for getting some of these toxins flushed. To have these toxins flushed out and the body flushing, this is very, very important. Very important. So this Lymphomax is one of my favorites. It's my favorite go-to. It's got mullein, lobelia plant, plantain herb, which is a huge herb for pulling out, for extracting things, or for healing things. It's got cleavers and red root and bayberry, alfalfa and chamomile. It's got echinacea and yarrow and garlic and chlorophyll. I mean, this is the balm of lymph cleansing right here. This is many different herbs that are used for soothing, calming, the pulling of toxins, if you will, inviting them to come out of the cells. It's a blood cleaner. It's a liver detoxifier. So if your liver is congested, this will help with that. It's a builder, if you will, because the alfalfa component in it has so many properties, so many trace mineral properties and properties for the body. This is used for swollen lymph nodes. It's used for even earaches and sore throats. You can use it for tonsillitis, which is kind of an indirect way of using it, but it's a blood purifier again. It's used for infections and it helps to support the immune system, but it helps to kind of shrink swollen lymph nodes. It helps to drain the lymphatic system. It's used for Hodgkin's disease, leukemia, mumps, tonsillitis. It's used for any kind of contagious diseases, which is interesting, right? It's used for swollen glands. It's even indicated for people that might have symptoms of acquired immune deficiency syndrome, which is AIDS or HIV or congestion in the lymphatics. So anything like that can be applied. Now, if you don't have those exact symptoms, does that mean you can't take this? No, that's not true, because herbs are in trace amounts in this. They are not in very high amounts. So when you stop taking them, you stop inputting the effect of them. But herbs have a property, and the property is what gets the job done, along with the mineral content and the vibratory frequency of the herb itself. So in this case, the Lymphomax would help you flush your liver and your system. It wouldn't hurt you. It would just be sort of like a house cleaning, a sweeping. So you wouldn't need it ongoing, but people that have more of lymphatic backup or lymphatic congestion overall, that's a real problem. That's something that's greater. And this would be very well indicated for that. Now, to move on, there are a few things I didn't put on the list publicly, but I want to share with you right here. And that is to clean the blood effectively and also alkalize it and give it its very best boost. I love chloroxygen. I'm a fan of chloroxygen. Now, people can drink chlorophyll. There's lots of chlorophylls out there. Some taste good, some don't. You can get liquid chlorophyll from the same company I'm talking about with these products right here. And it's spearminty flavored. It's very easy to drink. It's not thick. It's wonderful. So you could add that to your water all day long and it tastes fabulous. Like your water is just fresh. But chloroxygen, chlorophyll and oxygen, you can get it on Amazon. You can get it online. It's awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. So the chloroxygen is something that is a real go-to for many, many people. And with the chloroxygen, you will be kind of deodorizing your blood. You will be alkalizing your blood. You will be sweeping toxins yet in your blood, and the chlorophyll can bind to that and help it get out. Another thing that you could do is eat some cilantro, because the cilantro will bind to heavy metals and there might be heavy metal particulates, kind of like when I was in the fire and I inhaled everybody's car and refrigerator. Well, that affected my throat severely. And it still does today if I'm not careful. But had I not known these things, had I not done these things, I may have been already in very dire straits. So I'm telling you now, being a little proactive for a couple of months, maybe 3-4 months, if you've really inhaled a lot and it's very bad, maybe 6 months, and then wean off to just the bowel detox and use that for the rest of the year, that would help you. That would really help you. And the stem cell patches that I've always talked about, the X39 is great. You can go to makinglifebrighter.com and the link is there for the X39 and you can sign up and get yours there. The X39 is helpful because you're causing your copper peptides on your body to stimulate your own healthy stem cells. So where you have damaged cells in your body, you're actually replacing them with healthy stem cells. And those stem cells can be applied to any organ in your body and therefore used effectively for you. So I hope this has been helpful to you. It's just kind of a quick deep dive on how to use my favorite remedies and the most effective ones safely and effectively. And all the things I'm talking about here should not interfere with any kind of drugs. You can check with your doctor and find out, but these things I use regularly with people and never had any trouble at all in that way with folks with this. So thank you for listening. And again, makinglifebrighter.com and the information will be there. You can go to Facebook and you'll see the link in the post there today with these products listed under Making Life Brighter and YouTube. So the application of herbs themselves are something that is becoming more popular. And the irony is our grandmothers and great grandmothers knew all about this. It was a way of life. It was nature's medicine. And somehow we put that aside to be reactive for health instead of proactive. And, you know, the people of the past had at their fingertips herbs and things that grew that were helpful. And though we have modern medicine today, which has been a huge boon to us, the application of plants and plant medicine in terms of natural herbs and remedies is a beautiful and harmonious way to effectively heal your body or protect your body from any kind of pollution or malfunction. The healing that can be done at the core level, I've done for over 20 years with a giant apothecary of herbs and minerals and things like that. And I've done it successfully, effectively over and over again. So whether it's a cancer situation or it's a body system health situation where there's a chronic weakness or an acute weakness, there are so many things that can step in and come to the aid, because if you think about it, the body, the nature of intelligence and the nature of the body is always to optimize. So the body is waiting on the human almost to optimize toward one's spirit and optimize toward a choice for absolute perfect healing. And the body will cooperate with that. It's waiting for that at all times. So I hope that helps. Go jolly, everybody. Thank you for listening, and go out and make somebody else's life brighter today. Go jolly. We'll talk to you next week right here on Making Life Brighter, where we are preparing you and the people of the planet for the golden age and beyond.